coming off of a 3-day seminar called Growth Day with Brendon Burchard. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It was absolutely amazing. I will do another video on it, kind of going in depth about how it was to be at a seminar. I think it ended up being about 1,500 people as a highly sensitive being in an environment that is so loud, so bright, so filled with so many people. It was absolutely incredible. I was a little worried, especially because the week before, of course, the way that I do it, I had signed up for like an online seminar with a speaker who speaks super fast, and it was super overwhelming, and it was super loud, and the audio was super loud. And this was just like online, just listening every day, and I had to turn it off. I couldn't do it. And I was really getting worried about how will I handle an in-person event where I'm in a room with so many people, speakers blaring, lights, super bright. How am I going to handle it? But oh my gosh, I was so excited to be there. I think I was the one clapping and jumping and screaming the loudest. It was such an incredible vibe. At no point in time did I feel overwhelmed or just like it being too much or overstimulated. I was in it. I was in the flow. Brendon Burchard and the other speakers had the crowd just like hanging on every word. It was incredible. Just like Brendon's ability to like pull the crowd together. The minute you felt like people were kind of edgy, shifting, looking on their phones, not super present, it's like Brendon just like immediately got their attention, their focus back. It was an incredible crowd of learners, of just people who are really passionate about personal development. Wow, it was incredible. So, in this seminar, it's like, how do you take this into real life? Because of course, at the end, I felt this whole like, it's over. I've been looking forward to this for so many really months. I was like, how can I take this into every day? What am I going to shift in my life? What am I actually going to, what's the word? Like embrace. What am I going to do from here? What am I going to activate? What am I going to decide to do differently in my life so that this seminar wasn't just a 3-day amazing event, but it really was the turning point of shifting something big in my life. And one of the things I've been wanting to do for quite a while now is just to show up for my audience more. I'm definitely somebody who is like going, 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 and then I like dive deep. I kind of see myself as this whale, right? It's like this big sighting. I'm here, and then I just dive into the depths of the ocean. I feel like it's part of me being highly sensitive of like, oh, I just need that room to breathe. I need that space for me. And really a bit of like vulnerability, because on my hard days, and yes, I still have hard days, I think everybody does. It is hard for me to share that because it makes me feel like less of a coach, less of an example for others. And yet I feel like it will be so incredibly important and beneficial if exactly on those days I can show up for you saying, I'm not feeling it today, but I am going to put forth the effort to still be here, to still be present, to still pull myself into a better feeling space, because that is the name of the game, right? So, in order to be super present with you and super consistent with you, I have decided, because Brendon Burchard pitched it, he has an app called GrowthDay. And I'm not usually one who likes to enter things in an app. I'm so terrible. I have to tell you this. My boyfriend keeps track of my period. He's an amazing man. Every time I download an app to keep track of my cycle, I'm like, I'll enter it tomorrow. I'll remember. Oh, I'll enter that later. He is a Virgo. He is like, okay, what's day? He's so good about entering stuff, like entering data into apps. I'm not. And so I was like, oh, Brendon, why are you asking me to do this in an app? I don't do the whole phone thing, this whole app thing. If anything, I write it in my journal. But I don't do that consistently, and I always do have my phone with me. So I'm going to give this a shot. I think it's going to be important. He has this app called GrowthDay, Daily Fire. Every day he gives you a short video. You can write yourself a task list of what you really want to get done today and just something inspiring. And I want to share that with you every day. Kind of my riff on it, my take on it, particularly catered to highly sensitives, how I interpret it as a highly sensitive, and how I think it might benefit you as a highly sensitive. So I am so excited. Today's thing for him, I'm going to read you this quote. He said, I don't want you to let your past or any current circumstances limit the vision that you have for your future. Not on a Monday. Oh my gosh. I love Mondays. Mondays are so full of opportunities, so full of like possibilities. Don't you feel like at the beginning of the week, like anything is possible? You're fresh, you're new, you're renewed from the weekend. You feel like you have that energy to really embrace and charge the day. Today, Austin, Texas is beautiful weather. The sun is out. It's going to be a gorgeous day. And I really want you to think about not just your to-do list, right? There'll be plenty of that, but I want you to really think about Sunday evening, right? This Sunday evening, fast forward like 7 days, Sunday evening, you're sitting in your favorite cozy spot with your favorite cuddly sweater or blanket, drinking your favorite cup of tea or having some kind of favorite little chocolatey treat, and you're kind of thinking about your week and you're just glowing. You're just feeling incredible. You're like, I have had the best week. You know, whatever that looks like for you. Oh, I had those moments of connection with my kid. Oh, I can just hear him giggling because we had such a good time, you know. Gosh, I really felt connected with my partner this week, you know, especially in those moments when we took the time for each other to really look at each other, to really embrace each other, to hold that hug a little bit longer, to give each other those words of encouragement, but also those words of appreciation. You know, one of the big things during the seminar, Brendon was like, I'm here. You know, you're here. You're choosing to be here. You're here. Can you really be here and show up and be present? God, how amazing is that? So at this weekend review, and you're kind of thinking of your week, oh my gosh, you can also cheat a little bit. If there were moments, I'm also listening to a lot of like Neville Goddard right now, and he's like your day end review or your weekend review. When there were things that didn't turn out the way that you wanted them, flip them. How do you want them to be? What would have been a better way? Can you, in your mind, just set that as like, oh, that would have been amazing if it would have happened that way? Because then you're future planning. Then you're telling the universe, this is what I want. This was so incredibly helpful, even though it was a crappy part of my week. It really helped me to clarify what it is that I really do want, right? That's the big thing about law of attraction. What is it that you do want? And the last little bit I wanted to tell you is, remember, if you're having a tough time of like connecting to those big goals and big visions, although I would invite you to take a moment to just be like, what do I really want? What would make a huge difference in my life this week or this month if it came together, you know? And think of your 7 key areas, right? I'm a big person of 7 key areas. That's one of my most helpful tools that I use, the 7 key areas, right? I don't know if I know them off the top of my head. Let's see if I can pull them together. Your health and well-being, your love relationship, your relationship with anybody else, your kids, your family, your anybody else in a relationship, your friends, your career, your finances, your spirituality, and then any kind of hobby or travel, right? I believe that was all 7. So if you get stuck in like, I don't know what kind of goals I have right now, look at those 7 key areas and pick 1, maybe 2 for this week that are just most important, that you really want to hone in on, that you really want to feel like you're making like progress, that you're growing in, that you're making a difference in. And think about, what would really move the needle this week? Or what is something that I can stay consistent with? I've been promising myself I would watch more for my health, that I would, exercise, at least move for 10 minutes a day, and I would drink more water. Boom, you've got your 2 goals. Can you write those down? Can you follow through on those for the next 7 days? Because you're going to feel so much more confident and just in tune with yourself and feeling like you're winning it, feeling like you're charging life if you can set those little tiny goals and follow through on those goals for yourself. So important. Thank you for being here, for being willing to be in this life, for being willing to dream, for being willing to say tomorrow or today, right? It's at the beginning of the day. Today holds something so good. And I'm so excited to figure out what that is, because it's just getting better and better and better and better, because I am in charge of my life, but more importantly, of my emotions. And today, anytime that I get dragged down by an emotion, I can choose to shift, I can choose to pivot, I can choose to think of something beautiful that will reignite that fire to want to keep working towards my goals, my ambitions, what I desire to do and be in my life. It's only going to get better, right? Remember what is most important to me today. How will I feel fulfilled at the end of this day? If I can see my kiddo smile, if we can have a little moment of beautiful interaction, of laughter, of giggle, oh my gosh, if I can feel the sunshine in my face, what a beautiful moment. If I can witness something beautiful, wow, what is this day going to hold? Excitement, What are the feelings you want to feel today? Pick at least one or two. All right, I got to get going with my day, and I'm sure you do too. Thank you for being here. I'm going to post the link below for Growth Day for this app. Check it out. I'm going to try it out. I'm doing the 7-day trial right now. We'll see, but I am committing. I'm committing. I told myself I want to pull this through. I want to pull this through. So commit to something. Decide on something. Decide how you want to feel and live your best life now. Love ya. See you tomorrow.